Ever notice how strange this is? Some people can't even watch a scary movie. A jump scare ruins their entire night. Some people even sleep with their lights on. But those same people will happily listen to a 2-hour podcast about a real murder while folding their laundry. How does that make any sense? Why are millions of perfectly normal people fascinated by the darkest stories imaginable? And before you say, oh, I like mysteries, do you? Because I don't think that's the whole story. I think true crime fans are often searching for something. And the strange part is, most of them don't realize what it is. So let's see if any of this sounds familiar. Imagine you're watching a documentary. The victim meets someone suspicious. Immediately you think, nope, absolutely not. I would have left right there. You notice the red flags. You imagine what you would have done differently. You start putting yourself in the story. Why? Because part of your brain isn't watching. It's rehearsing. Psychologists believe humans are naturally drawn to stories about danger because our brains evolved to learn from threats. Thousands of years ago, learning who was dangerous could literally save your life. Today, you're not hiding from predators, but your brain still wants to know. What does danger look like? Who can I trust? What warning signs am I missing? And true crime gives your brain endless opportunities to practice. Every case becomes a lesson. Every mistake becomes information. You aren't just hearing a story, you're mentally preparing for one, which is honestly kind of wild, because maybe your obsession with true crime isn't dark at all. Maybe your brain is trying to protect you. But I don't think that's the only reason. I think there's another reason. And if this next part sounds like you're gonna feel very called out. Have you ever Googled, why do people cheat? Why do narcissists act like that? Why do people stay in toxic relationships? Do you replay conversations in your head? Do you analyze people's behavior for no reason? Do you love personality tests? If so, I don't think you're obsessed with true crime. I think you're obsessed with people, because true crime isn't really about murder. It's about human behavior pushed to the absolute limits. What makes someone lie? Manipulate? Ignore guilt? What makes someone trust the wrong person? Ignore red flags? Stay when they should have left? True crime asks the same question your brain has probably been asking your whole life. Why do people do the things they do? And honestly, that question is addictive, because people are confusing. We want them to make sense. We want a formula. We want to believe bad people look bad and dangerous people look dangerous. But true crime constantly reminds us that they don't. Sometimes someone who is deep down, straight up evil can be charming. Sometimes they can be even attractive. Sometimes it's hiding in plain sight. And I think that's what terrifies us the most. The idea that if we had met this person, would we have noticed? Or would we have been fooled too? And that brings me to what I think is the deepest reason people love true crime. It's not survival. It's not even curiosity. It's uncertainty. Humans hate uncertainty. We hate not knowing. We hate randomness. We want explanations. We want causes. We want the world to make sense. True crime takes something terrifying and says, here's what happened. Here's why. Here are the clues. Here's the ending. Chaos becomes a story. And stories are comforting, because if evil can be understood, maybe it can be predicted. Maybe it can be avoided. Maybe the world is less random than it seems. Of course, that's not always true. Sometimes bad things happen for no reason. Sometimes there are no warning signs. And maybe that's why we keep watching. Because we're trying to solve something bigger than the case. We're trying to solve people. We're trying to solve fear. We're trying to solve the uncomfortable fact that not everything can be explained. So, what does your obsession with true crime say about you? Maybe it means you're cautious. Maybe it means you're endlessly curious. Maybe it means you're trying to understand people. Or maybe it means you're trying to make sense of a world that sometimes doesn't make sense. And honestly, that might be one of the most human things about us. If you want to understand more of why we do what we do, make sure to subscribe to Behind Behavior, because sometimes our strangest obsessions reveal the most about who we are.